Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Hilaal Live. I'm Luqman Shadrack from the Cape Town studios. Bit of cold weather's experiencing outside in Cape Town. I hope you're keeping warm. And I know the rest of the country as well is experiencing quite a bit of cold weather. Now, our very special guest today is joining us also from, I think, from Johannesburg or some one of the beautiful cities in our country as well. We have so many opportunities that's available for people that would like to further their career. And today being World Environmental Day, I thought let's bring on someone in the wildlife industry. I'd like to welcome Alex van der Heever. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me, Juan. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks. Where are you joining us from again, Alex?
Actually in Pietermaritzburg in KZN.
Oh, lovely side of the world as well. How's the weather there? Are you also experiencing a bit of winter?
Yeah, yes, we certainly are. It's got off to a cooler than average start for this winter, I must say.
Absolutely. Alex, you're part of an organization and company called Eco Training. We've heard a lot about it. I've seen a lot about it in the news as well. But for those of our viewers that don't know too much, could you kindly tell us a bit more about your company?
Yes, sure. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about what we do. So Eco Training, it was founded in 1993, a group of game rangers from Londolozi Game Reserve, one of the famous private reserves in the Greater Kruger National Park, started Eco Training 30 years ago. In fact, this is our 30th birthday this year.
Congratulations.
And, yeah, thank you. And so, yeah, we started humble, small, a couple of bucket loos and one rusty Land Rover and a couple of tents. And today we operate across 3 different countries where we have permanent camps in South Africa, Botswana, and in Kenya. But we do on-site training all around southern and indeed Eastern Africa, right up into Congo. In fact, we've got a cohort of trainers that are about to depart for Sudan to go and do training up there. And so, yes, we do a variety, offer a whole bouquet of different environmental and wildlife courses, ranging from a 1-week-long birding course right up to a 1-year-long professional field guide program. And I think what's hit the news recently is that program has recently become accredited with the Department of Higher Education. So we are the first guide training company in Africa to receive our higher education training status, which we're very proud of. And it's just an ideal gift for our 30th birthday. It's a project we worked on for 6 years, and we're finally here, and that unlocks a whole lot of opportunities for us and for people to get study visas, to get study loans, to come to our courses. And so we're just very, very excited. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what we're all about is expanding environmental consciousness, and being, and a lot of our work is advocacy, quite honestly, and trying to get people to understand that nature is part of our everyday lives, and that we should march to nature's beat, and that we have so much to learn from nature, both directly as for somebody wanting to follow a career in conservation, but also just in our own personal lives.
That's great. We attended the Africa Travel in Durban not too long ago in Durban. And there were a host of companies, travel, tourism companies, but more importantly, from the other parts of Africa as well. Are you finding that now that the borders are reopened, flights are reopened, that there's an influx of tourists visiting our shores?
Yes, it's getting there. We're not quite at pre-COVID levels, although we're getting there, certainly. I think that by the end of this year, hopefully we will be there. We've started this new exciting program, which I just alluded to now. We've got a few other very exciting programs in the pipeline, which we are launching. And probably 65% of our students come from outside of South Africa. So in Southern Africa, but also as far afield as Germany and Holland, and in Europe, as well as the United States, and of course Australia and and in fact also in South America. So we have a wonderful mix of really interesting people coming from all over the world to come and do our courses. And we have courses, of course, at our unfenced tented camps. And I must emphasize, our tented camps are humble, they're unfenced, and when you come there, you are immersed in nature. The elephant can be feeding on the marula tree right above your tent, quite literally. And so in the middle of the day, in the mornings and in the late evenings, we spend time in the field, in the bush, learning about the practical activities that go along with our courses. And then during the middle of the day, we get into the lecture theater, and our instructors deliver presentations on whatever modules are associated with that particular program. But in addition to that, we also run, as of COVID, thanks to COVID, we started an online department. So we're now offering many of our programs online, so people can log on and they can go through the modules at their own pace. They also have the opportunity of being able to have live sessions with our instructors. So yes, it's an exciting space. And as you say, we were at Indaba because on one hand, we're an educational institute, but on the other, we're in hospitality. We're receiving people from around the world, and we've got to take care of them and look after them and make sure they have a good time and make sure that when they leave, they feel enriched about what they've learned and about our country and our natural heritage. So that's why we were at Indaba, but we're half school, half hospitality and game lodge. Yeah.
Great stuff, Alex. And I would imagine over the last 30 years, you've acquired this wonderful knowledge and experience that you can now pass on to the next generation as well. Wildlife is not one of those courses that people, wake up one morning and say, oh, I want to get into the wildlife industry. This is probably something that grows on you, but more importantly, with the resurgence of a consciousness about protecting our earth, protecting our environment, would play a massive role in more people wanting to do some of your courses.
Exactly right. You're 100% correct. We talk about global warming and the climate issues that we are struggling with on a daily basis. And so environmental education is very topical at the moment. And we are finding more and more South Africans, quite frankly, are becoming really interested in what we do. And not only people that have left schools and wanting to follow a career in wildlife or environmental studies, but also people that have gone through their careers and who have been successful and who are perhaps semi-retired or completely retired and have realized that they've missed out. And they want to now come and be immersed in nature and learn to track an animal, learn to identify trees and birds, learn how to navigate when you don't have a GPS, sleep under the stars, listen to the lion roar and wake you at 5 a.m. and become and immerse yourself in nature's rhythm. And really, we see ourselves as facilitators. We create a platform, an environment for people to come in and to learn themselves. And of course, we have our instructors, and they're highly experienced people that will take you out into the bush every day and conduct the presentations. But at the end of the day, it's an emotional, energetic connection as well that people are having, which is an intangible benefit that you only really realize when you are there. It's difficult to sell that in a marketing brochure or any of that kind of sort.
Alex, the accreditation itself, I would imagine, opens so many new doors for your company, for students that would also like to take on some of the courses as well. What does it mean to you guys to have this wonderful accreditation?
I can't overemphasize how important it is for a number of reasons. One of which we're the biggest and the first guide training company to have started in South Africa, and we've always prided ourselves on pushing the boundaries in terms of the professionalism of this industry. People are coming from far away. They're paying a lot of money to come to South Africa to some of these game reserves, and they want a guide who knows what he or she is talking about and who is passionate about what they're doing and who can be an ambassador for wildlife. And it's, our wildlife in Africa is our unique selling point. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's an asset that very few other continents can compete with. And so we really must put our best foot forward.
Yeah.
And so that's what Eco Training's mission is to create ambassadors of the wildlife industry.
Fantastic.
So this accreditation just means it's a stamp of legitimacy and credibility for the work we've been doing for the last 30 years.
We're chatting to Alex van den Heever, who's part of Eco Training, and chatting about all the wonderful courses that you can actually look into if you'd like to explore the journey into the wildlife industry. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we chat a bit more to Alex. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for joining us. I'm broadcasting from our Cape Town studios, bitterly cold Cape Town studios, but I'm sure it's warm where you are. And today we're chatting about wildlife. And if you've always wanted to get into this wonderful industry, I've got Alex on the line who's chatting to us all the way from Pietermaritzburg. Alex, thanks once again for joining us and being part of the show and telling us more about Eco Training. Now, I know some of the courses that you do are extremely user-friendly, and as you mentioned, you've got some online courses as well. Tell our viewers a bit more about some of the exciting courses that you offer.
Yeah, so one of our popular ones is the 1 week long birding course, and we run that at our Pufuri camp right in the very northern reaches of the Kruger National Park, in the Makuleki Contract Park, which is just a magnificent area. I think it's the most beautiful part of the Kruger, with these huge fever tree forests, this massive Lana Gorge. You're on the banks of the Limpopo River. On the other side, you've got Crook's Corner, you've got Mozambique and Zimbabwe. It's rich with history, and the bird diversity there is incredibly rich. And we've got a beautiful tented camp there on stilts. Each tent has a humble bed in it and an ensuite bathroom, so it's comfortable, but it's humble and it's wild and it's authentic. And so that's our birding course. We also do a wilderness skills course where we take people out on foot, Lukman, and we for 5 days we walk and we track and we teach them bushcraft, and we track lions on foot,
Wow.
and we literally just deal with the animals as they come, and we show people how to survive in nature, how to orientate and navigate themselves, and how to move in nature safely. And it's fascinating to watch how people's awareness, their natural awareness, just blossoms over that short space of time. We also have tracking courses where we teach people how to identify different animals' tracks and signs. We teach them how to follow an animal's trail, for example, a rhino, and they actually get to do that. We don't just demonstrate it. We teach it, and we get the students to do the actual tracking. And by the end, if they pass, they can get a certificate, either of a certificate of attendance, or if they, in fact, we run an assessment at the end, and they can actually get an accredited certificate that shows that they're on a journey. You get level 1 and level 2 and so on. Excuse me. And so you are able to come back from our courses with something to show for it. And not to mention just an unbelievable experience of being up at dawn in the cool, watching the sun rise and listening to that dawn chorus of the birds, and then having this interesting experience where your mind has been pushed. You are being exposed to new sights and sounds and smells, but you're active. You're walking and you're in the sun, and it starts to get warm, and then we come home for a beautiful brunch, and the chefs in our camps make the most delicious South African food, and then it's a lecture, an hour lecture to internalize what you've learned. And then you get an hour or 2 hour siesta, and then we back out into the bush, and then we stay there after dark, and we get the spotlight out, and we start to look for all the nocturnal animals like porcupines and leopards and bush babies and genets and all the fascinating little mammals that come out when the sun goes down. And then we come home and we sit around the fire and we tell stories and we reflect on the day. And usually we're in bed by 8 o'clock because you've had an active day, and it's just so fulfilling, emotionally, physically, mentally. And so yeah, we believe that we offer a unique experience. This is not, we don't offer an experience that puts our students in a situation where they're observing. They're in a situation where they are become part of nature, and they come away with a whole lot of learnings and lessons from their
Brilliant.
experience.
Brilliant. Alex, it sounds really fascinating. It sounds like somewhere that one can just shut off, switch off from all the technology and just
Quite
experience the
right.
true nature as well. Alex, where can our viewers find you? I mean, what are the best methods to get hold of you, and how can one experience some of the courses that you offer?
Yes, thank you, Likwan. Thank you for offering that. So our website is www.ecotraining.co.za, and from there you'll be able. All the contact details are very clear. You can fill out a contact form, or you can phone our office. The office is based in Nelspruit in Mpumalanga, and the ladies will answer. And what we also have is EcoQuest courses, which I haven't told you about, which is if you're a minimum of a 6 in a group, and you want to design your own program, and you want to learn a little bit about stars and a bit about tracking and a bit about this or that, we'll help you design your own custom built EcoQuest course. And those have become very popular because families and groups that want to go and do something a bit different, but they want to have a hand in their experience. And so those are also very, very popular.
Great. Alex, thanks once again for joining us on Hilaal TV. We look forward to meeting you in person one day and maybe experiencing some of your amazing trails and all the knowledge that you pass on as well. And keep fighting the good fight, because this is exactly what we need. Technology sometimes does take over our lives, and just to retreat into the wilderness is exactly what the doctor orders sometimes.
Absolutely. It's, there's research to show that time in nature actually creates a joy factor that has a long tail, and it's very good for the soul. And thank you. And you are most welcome. Come visit us at our camps. We'd love
Thank you.
do that.
Before you go, I want to find out about this 30 years celebration that you guys are experiencing right now. I would imagine such a milestone. And if you look back in all the years that you've had those initial setup challenges, and I would imagine dealing with various issues as well. On the 30-year, before I get there, do you partner with any other companies to assist you with some of your initiatives?
Yes, where we partner with the Field Guides Association of South Africa, also known as FAGASA. We partner with BirdLife South Africa.
Okay.
We are associated with the Endangered Wildlife Trust. And of course, we are a partner with the Makaleki community in the Northern Kruger National Park. We do a lot of community training as well for people that don't have the funds and the resources to come on our courses. We make our plan, and so we try and get as many of the community people into courses as we possibly can. So yes, we have several partners in different areas of our work.
Okay, that's great. And the 30 years, are you doing something special this year? Are you, maybe adding additional tours or opportunities where people can look into?
Yes, we are. And we're going to be announcing a very exciting program, a course, quite soon. I can't mention it right now, but it'll be coming quite soon.
Okay.
But I think our biggest announcement and our gift to the industry is the fact that we are now a higher education accredited program. Nice. And what that means is people can actually get a university higher certificate in ecotourism guiding.
And that would that be NQF level 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there?
Level 5.
Okay, got it.
Yes, and it also means that those credits can be used if you wanted to further study, if you wanted to.
Great. And I would imagine these type of courses can be utilized throughout the world?
Yes, absolutely. We work with universities from America and in Europe that do their study abroad programs, where we partner with them and they bring their groups out for their practical sessions with us at our camps as well.
That is very, very nice to hear. It's always nice to, the world's so small these days. You jump in a plane and in a couple of hours, you're in another country as well. So it's an opportunity for our youngsters or someone that would like to explore the opportunities into wildlife to actually pursue this.
Yes, no, quite right. And we want to be available to anyone in the world. And I think our dreams are to expand and build camps on other continents, and to let the wings of our model fly, and hopefully create presences in other countries where we can help and expand environmental consciousness outside of Africa as well.
Thanks very much, Alex. It's, like I said, World Environmental Day today as well, and I'm sure that you probably celebrated with some of your colleagues in the industry. All the very best to you and the good people at Eco Training, and we wish to speak to you soon.
Luqman, thank you so much for having me. All the
My
very
pleasure.
best.
My pleasure. Goodbye. And that's Alex van der Heever, who is part of Eco Training. Do go and check them out on all the good socials. If you want to explore an industry in the wildlife sector, this is the guy to speak to. They also offer a photography course as well. I'm quite interested in that, so I'm probably going to have a look at that, and it's online. Thanks very much once again for joining us on Hilaal Live. We're back tomorrow between 5 p.m. and just after 7:20, inshallah. Jazakallah to my Cape Town team for always doing a sterling job, Brother Ahmad and Brother Sohail. And then to our Johannesburg team, my colleague Faraz, and the exceptional technicians behind the scene as well. We're back tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Assalamu alaikum.